Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, entrepreneurs and dreamers, welcome to the Exceed Real Vibe podcast, the home of both conversations, smart investment, and real talk about life, family, wealth, and the real estate game, all in the context of business and purpose. Here at the Exceed Real Vibe podcast, we vibe and we exceed. I am your host, Jennifer Igwe, aka the Content Queen. And today, I have an amazing company, the one and only delectable Victor A. James. Woo!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to the Exceed Real Vibe podcast. Now, this is the main episode of the Exceed Real Vibe podcast, and I'm so excited, right, James?
Of course, I'm so excited too.
Yes, we are super excited because we have a lot in store for you. It promises to be educative, inspiring, insightful, impactful, and of course, entertaining. On today's episode, we're going to be laying the foundation. We're talking about what real estate is and what real estate isn't. Let's bust some myths. Let's set the record straight in this episode. Let's get right into it. So, Victory James, you're a real estate expert, right? Yeah, so the basic things and more things about the real estate industry. So I want you to tell us, in a layman's understanding, what real estate is.
All right, thank you very much once again. So let's start with the basic definition of what real estate is. Real estate simply means properties that consist of lands, buildings, or natural resources. So it could be in any format. It could come in the format of residential, where you see homes, condos being built on it. It could come in a commercial format, where you see warehouses, where you see retail offices. It could also come in an industrial format, where you see manufacturing sites, or even an agricultural format, where you see farm lands and what have you. So real estate is all encompassing. It has different dimensions to it, but it's all about properties that has lands, buildings, and natural resources sited on that land.
Okay, more than just the lands, the buildings, the houses and all that. What more can someone see real estate as?
Bringing it to the business context, of course, real estate is a means of wealth creation.
Okay.
It is an opportunity for you to create wealth as an individual. Now, I'm not talking about making money. There's a difference, of course, between being wealthy and also having money. So when we talk about being wealthy, real estate gives you that opportunity for you to be able to amass that wealth that can even go to up to your third generation as much as you can. It's a means of wealth creation. It is also a long-term business. In other words, real estate is not a business that you get in today and you want to make out a lot of money in the next 6 months or 1 year. It is a long-term business, so you must understand that the dividends, the ROI, comes in a long term. Real estate also, it's a means of solving house problem. In a country like Nigeria that has a high density of population, you will see that as the numbers keep on increasing, so will also the demand for housing and accommodation also increase. So in a market like this, it is bringing value to create accommodation solutions for people to be able to get into. So real estate is about value creation. It's not just about money. So the question is, what are you bringing into the market that can be able to solve this house deficit challenge that we are facing in the country? Also, real estate is a relationship-driven industry. And this is very important because we see a lot of street agents that go about the real estate business all in a bid to get their commission and their bonuses. But you must understand that a stranger that you meet today may not be able to buy as of now, or can refer you to another person, maybe a brother, a sister, or a friend. But the question is, have you been able to establish that relationship that would serve as a connection, as a bridge for the person to trust you? Now, looking at the fact that real estate is a multi-millionaire industry, trust is paramount. Nobody wants to do business with someone they don't know. And it has been said that you do business with people you like, you trust, and you know. So that relationship platform must be established for you to be able to make money out of real estate. It's not like a business where you go into the market and you just see a stranger and you buy, irrespective of whether you know the person or not. No, because it's we're talking about millions of naira here.
Even billions
too. So the person would have to be sure that they can trust you and you are in for it for a long haul. Another interesting thing about real estate is that real estate is an industry with a lot of niches. So we have the residential part, we have the commercial part, we have the agricultural part, we have the luxury, the service apartment. So you must not be a realtor marketing a land for you to be able to understand that you have a role to play in real estate. You can also feature into luxury apartments like Airbnb, or decide to go into agricultural farming, which is also part of real estate. And I would like to end with this about real estate, that real estate is one of the oldest, if not the oldest form of business we will ever see. Right from time immemorial, it has been in existence. And if you understand what real estate is all about, you see, it's about value creation, it's about vision, for you to be able to see a land and you know that in the next few years it's going to appreciate in value. And of course, it's also about leveraging, because real estate is a business that promises high volume of profit. If you understand these three factors, then you can be able to make it big in real estate.
Oh wow. He has said a whole lot, and I'm sure you have picked a whole lot. But in summary, let me highlight what he said. Number one, real estate is a wealth building vehicle. To add to that, real estate is not just all about creating wealth, it also retains wealth.
Yeah.
There's a wealth creation vehicle and a wealth retention vehicle. He also said that real estate is a long-term security investment, right? And also that real estate is a relationship-driven industry, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thrives on relationship.
It thrives on relationship. That's right. I can relate because you have to make friends with people for them to buy from you.
Of course.
And even when a connection comes through business, there's a need for you to retain it and maintain it by true friendship.
Exactly.
And because you have to communicate with them, if not constantly, you tend to build friendship in that process.
Exactly.
Right. And that makes all he said very valid, right? And also to add that he said that real estate has different niches. So you must not, if you feel like, oh, I don't want to go to bushes and do the affordable lands, whatever, you can do luxury homes.
Yeah.
You could do smart homes, you could do Airbnb services.
Yeah.
So this gives you room to explore and
Exactly.
diversify in the industry.
Yeah.
This is amazing. So let's get into the second segment in this episode. What real estate is not. Yes. A lot of things that you might think is real estate, we're going to hear from him right now. That is not real estate. So tell us what real estate is not.
You know, Jenny, I really like this part because it makes us understand what the business of real estate is all about. So when I talk about real estate, I'm passionate about it, and I would like to distinguish it from other businesses.
Okay.
So what is real estate? We've established that. What real estate isn't is what we're going to talk about.
Yes.
Number one, real estate is not MMM.
Ooh.
It's not CBEX. I know why I'm saying that because we have quite a lot of people that
Oh my God.
just want to make money after investing today.
Okay.
So like Pablo's, they just want to invest today and tomorrow they are cashing out. No, it's not a Ponzi scheme. That's what I'm trying to let you know. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It is a long-term business where you invest depending on whichever mode you are coming in. But just know it's in for a long haul. It can take 3 years, can take 5 years, 10 years, depending on the site or the location that you buy a particular property. It's an asset that has a value, and this value is seen, it's tangible. It is real estate. This means it is real, you can touch it. Another thing that real estate is not a big man's business. So we see a lot of people talking about, oh, real estate is big man's business. No, yes, real estate may have a high volume of money flowing through it, multi-million, but that doesn't make it a big man's business. What do I mean? You must not have millions of naira for you to get into real estate. There are different modes you can come into real estate, like I've established, but I'd like to highlight 3 areas. Number one, you can come in as a realtor, as a marketer. You see a particular property and you are marketing. So by the time you make commissions or bonuses on top of it, you accumulate it, and now you can invest it. That is with the money you've made out of real estate through marketing. Or you could come in as an investor. That is if you have the money. So in the case where you have the money, you could just decide to buy a property, get into land banking or land flipping, and at the end of 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you are making money. Or you can come in as both, depending on whichever mode. But the point is, you must not have the money. There is a concept called OPM, and this is what a lot of people use. Even the bank use it. The bank doesn't have money in of itself. They use your money, make investments, make money out of it, pay you your capital with little dividends while they take the larger chunk, right? So OPM is a process whereby you use other people's money to invest. But of course, please, this is not a financial advice. So if you want to get into that on a large scale, please go through the legal process. But what I'm trying to say in essence is this: you must not be a big man
To be in the industry.
To be in the industry.
Okay.
Market properties, make money out of it, then reinvest it, and then in no sooner time you become big. After all, Rome wasn't built in a day. So you must not be great to start, but you have to start to become great.
Wow, word.
Another thing that real estate is not something that you do as a side hustle. Real estate, it's a big time business. It's a profession on its own. It's a real time business. It's a career. So imagine an industry that worth over billions of dollars. You are treating as a side hustle.
Almost ranking the third highest sector.
The third highest sector in Nigeria.
Wow.
So what then is your main hustle? If that is your side hustle, then you must really be a big man.
Oh
I really
my
want to know.
God.
So real estate is a big business that you must treat as such. If you want to make it big, treat it as a big business.
Okay.
So if you treat it as a side hustle, you will earn side hustle's income. And what you would achieve doing treating real estate business as a side hustle in 5 years is what you would have achieved if you treat it as a full-time business in 2 years. So you must understand that if you give it your attention, the focus it requires, you'll be able to achieve more, because we are talking about a big-time business here. So don't treat it as a side hustle. Don't, unless you are into 9 to 5. Yes, it's understandable, but the point is, give it your attention. Be intentional about your marketing. Be intentional about showing up, about your adverts. Don't just remember, oh, after 2 weeks I've not posted, decide to post online, or maybe when you feel like. You don't get to achieve much when you act on the days you feel like. So real estate is not a side hustle. Else you make side hustles income.
Oh wow. Just again, let me highlight what I said. Real estate is not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a get quick rich platform. It's not a side hustle. Then that is it all about or just meant for wealthy people. That means you and I, a student, an undergraduate, an employee, an entrepreneur, you can also be in the real estate industry.
That's
not
right.
for the wealthy people.
That's
and you can do this by leveraging other people's money, you coming in as a marketer, as a realtor, and of course you purchasing the affordable lands. Why you for them to appreciate getting money for yourself. There is also an avenue for you to pay by installment. This is one of the hacks that these industry and real estate developers or companies have initiated to help middle income earners to be able to afford properties.
Yeah, to start with what you have.
So they have this 3 month payment plan, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months.
Yeah.
So come on, we are all making sure that nobody has an excuse
of not
for
getting
not getting a property,
That's
for
right.
not being in this industry. And also you can also leverage by referral.
Yeah.
So you don't know who the person might not be the buyer, or you might not be the buyer directly, but you might know someone that wants to buy. And when this not goes through, definitely you get something for yourself.
Exactly.
So come on, referral works. Networking works in this business.
Of course, built on relationship. Of
course. Wow! I told you were in for a long thing in this podcast. All right, now we're getting to the third segment for today's episode. Guess what? Let's poke those myths you have in your mind about real estate.
That's right.
Some myths that you have in your head that are just fallacies. It's going to throw some points and poke those myths. So sit back and relax. So Victor, tell us some of the myths that we have in this industry that has been narrated by people. We don't know them or we know them, some things that I believe they're all fallacies. So tell us and let's burst them right in this podcast.
All right, thank you very much, Jenny. Just like in every other business, real estate business also has its own fallacies that keep on clouding the sense of judgment for a lot of persons. And I'd like to just highlight few fallacies, the myth that people face when it comes to real estate.
Okay.
Number one, and this is very important because I think I've earlier on stated the fact that real estate is not a big man's business, even though it has a high volume of money flowing through it.
Okay.
It has a free or low barrier to entry into the market. In other words, you don't have to be certified as it were. You don't have to go to a special school after 4 months to say, oh, I'm now a realtor. Just having the basic knowledge, just posting online, you're already into the business. Then, of course, for you to now grow, you need to go to special trainings. You need to go to special classes, seminars. You need to be tutored and also mentored in the line of the business of real estate. But what I'm trying to establish here is that you don't have to have millions of naira in your bank account for you to get into the business. Real estate is only for extroverts. I've heard people say that real estate is only for extroverts, those that can talk, those that can market. Well, in the value chain of real estate, there are different roles you can play. You can be a realtor marketing a property or a land. You can be a builder developing a land. or the building, you don't have to talk to anyone. It's you and your tools. You can be an interior decor trying to fix up the apartment. You don't need to be an extrovert for that. You can be an electrician, a plumber. You can be an artisan of any field. You must understand that it is not only for extroverts. So whether you're an extrovert, an introvert, or an ambivert, there is a role for you in real estate. And when you decide to get into the real estate business, then you know that the road is waiting for you. You can also be a social media marketer. You can decide to market properties online. Nobody needs to see your face. Just consistently posting and showing up, leaving your digital footprint can avail you the opportunities of getting leads that are turned into clients. And when clients pay, you are making your money. Another myth that I'd like to talk about is the myth of once I buy land, I am rich. No, it doesn't really work that way. So there are times that you buy a land, depending on the location and how strategic it is. It may take 5 years. It may even take 10 years. There are cases we've seen in Nigeria, people that bought land far back in the early 90s in Lekki Peninsula. And in the space of 10 to 15 years, as low as 200,000 naira that they used to buy a plot of land, they are now earning, or it is now valued at over hundreds of millions. So do not think if you just make the investment now, you're now rich. No, it takes time, especially as development is coming towards that area. So there are also a lot of fallacies and myths that are not mentioned. If you have one, you can drop in the comment section. But I want to let you know that once you debunk yourself of all these myths, the good deeds that are packed in real estate are waiting for you. And I'd like to put this out as I end. Many people think that because a company is legal, so every property that they market are legit. No. So we're talking about once you buy land, you are rich. So I don't want you to get into that scam, that fraudulent transactions, where companies that are legally registered, even with the CSA and with the government, they also market knowingly or unknowingly illegitimate properties. So it's a question of ensuring that you do your background check as a realtor or as an investor. It behoves on you to do that, your due diligence. And of course, this is where a lot of companies that are duly registered and have high reputation in the country come in. Companies like Sedar Home Smart Developers, they of course are legally registered, and they also market properties that are legitimate because it is rightly registered and every documentation are rightly done. So once you buy a house, it doesn't make you rich. Ensure you take these due diligence steps, and then you can be able to see much more later.
Wow, I hope the foundation is clear already, guys. I want to emphasize on the fact that real estate is for extroverts. Who told you that? As a matter of fact, in reality, people that talk too much, people that know how to talk, interact, play, call them the sanguines.
The sanguines.
Most of them are not really marketers. It's not all of them that can sell. So don't conclude on yourself because you don't have to talk because you're shy. Come the way you are. In this industry, come the way you are. You know when Jesus said, come as you are. Come as you are. You're an introvert, come the way you are. That's your shyness might be why that client will buy from you.
Of course.
So just appear the way you are.
And be
there is room for growth anyway, but don't have the mindset that, oh, I'm an introvert, so I can't do this. That is the life of the pit of hell. I put it to you. You can do it and more. Yeah. So with all this point, I am sure you can't wait for the next episode, guys. It's gonna be a bomb. What a bombshell. I am super excited, guys, and I'm sure you are too. We're gonna be having a series of guests coming up on this show, and all is stated that giving you value, giving you insight, and helping you grow in life, in family, in business, in real estate, and what have you. Thank you so much, Victor and James. I mean, it was a pleasure having this conversation with you.
The pleasure is mine. It was a very enjoyable, and I hope you two, our viewers, did gain a lot of value.
I'm sure they did. Yeah, right? This is just the beginning. If you're serious about life, about business, about making money, then lock in with us right here at the Exceed Real Vibe podcast every week. We've got experienced guests, we've got inspiring stories, we've got strategies, all here at the Exceed Real Vibe podcast, where your mindset gets sharper and your bag gets bigger. Join us in the next episode. Don't forget to follow us on social media platforms. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, and we're on YouTube. See you in the next episode. Let's exceed together.